What's going on, guys? We got a couple trades today. We got two different stocks that were traded really well, and then one stock, QCOM, which was traded atrociously. So I don't really want to go over the live video because I was trading for like a solid 2 hours or something, or almost 2 hours now, an hour and a half. And it would just take so long to do everything. I'm just going to try to do my best to explain what I did. So we'll start from the top here. ATOS is the first one well, not the first one I traded. I think it was the last one I traded. But this was kind of what happened after AKTX went nuts. So I saw that we had broken out of this level here. Came and retested it. And I was looking to enter right here, but I missed it by like 2 seconds, and I got my my 1,000 shares up towards 350. It went up and it came back down, and I saw a really big buyer. I think it was like 80,000 shares on the bid, so I added to 2,000 with him. And then what was happening was at 350, 351, 352, there was like 50, 60, 70,000 share buyers. So that gave me enough confidence to go to 3,000 shares. And I know, again, that's a lot for me, but I quickly put in a hard stop of, 3,000 shares, and I put it immediately like 2 cents below. So the most I would have lost with slippage if it had fallen through the 350 was maybe $100. And that's what I want to risk per trade, and that's what counts. And because of that, I sold the first 1,000 pretty early right here. I think you can see bought. Sold 1,000 at 359 just to lock in, I think, $80 or something. And then I was waiting for my targets. So I got my targets here from the daily, and those were, they started above 350, so 358, 360, 366. This is where I started to sell, kind of up in this area, and I was just selling in like 100 share increments, sold. I kept selling, and I don't think I re-added. Did I trade this again, or was it just there? No, I believe I just took that one fat entry, only because of that support that was there. And I was just selling all the way up. I think my best exit here was 388, and the high was a double top at 392. So that was a really good trade. Maybe a little too much size again, but I think the point is that I'm focusing on risk and not size. So with my hard stop, the most I could have lost was, let's say, 120 even, which is completely reasonable, completely fine. The other name I traded was AKTX, and this one was good except for one mistake. So I traded it at the open, and I don't know, I got the washout. Let me show you on the 5-second chart. 930, here we go. So I had 443 marked out here. I believe that was a daily level, 443, yes, right here, the high of this candle. I had that marked out. It washed down into it in the first 10 seconds. I went boom, boom, bought my, I think it was 2,000 shares, or 1,500 shares at that point, and then I was just selling at the high of day. It's an opening range breakout. I was just waiting for this 455, and that was from here. 455 was marked, I believe, also from the daily. 455, yes, 455 is the top of this candle. So it was a very quick trade, buying the bottom, or buying support, selling on resistance, and then I was done. I did not touch this again until I thought that it could potentially go through high of day. And I missed this because I was trading QCOM. I'll go over that in a minute. But as we were holding support here, and we were holding above these lows and above these lows, we were starting to make this trend. So I waited for it to dip, and I bought, I think, 1,000 shares right here. It was a 500 and 500 order. And then down here, I added to 1,500, and I accidentally sold 500. And then I went back to 2,000 right here. That was my mistake, was in here. I accidentally hit the wrong hotkey because they're right beside each other. So I was in for this, and actually there's two mistakes. Mistake number 2 was setting my stop far too close to where it should have been, because I stopped out of the whole thing here in profit only to rebuy it for the actual move that I had anticipated. So I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better. Well, you can see my entries are great. A lot of my exits are great, but I guess my trade management now is the thing that needs work. And trade management includes stop placement. So I get nervous and I want to lock in at least some profit. So when my tight stop gets triggered, then I see support, I see VWAP, I see it's holding support, and I just immediately rebuy. So that's something I really have to work on. Accept the risk of the trade. Don't move your stop up to something that's inappropriate. Like, this was clearly on trend, and I still stopped out. But I did get back in, and I captured this move, and I sold the first 1,000 at high of day here, and then I sold, I think, another 500 up here, and then I was re-adding, and then I think I added again, and then I stopped out of the whole thing, took it again a smaller size, because I thought this was a flag that was going to break out, and it did not. So I stopped out of that, took it a final time, and made a very tiny profit on that with a very, very well placed stop order. See, this stop order was properly placed. Or I guess, no, you can probably draw that like that. I believe I had the stop at 484 and I got filled at 479. Perfect placement. That was the break of trend. And thank God I was not holding on to anything on the way down, because that would have sucked. So my mistakes here, again, were trade management, and within that was my stop placement. So just because I'm a little bit in profit and I'm nowhere near my target doesn't mean I can move my stop all the way up. I think at the very least I should have just had it at break even, which would have been down in here. And then that would have still been accepting the risk. And then if I was wrong, I just wouldn't have lost any money. It would have been a free trade. Because this is the same thing as selling early, is having your stop too high. So that's fine. That was all fine, except for that. And then back on ATOS, what was my mistake? I don't think there were any mistakes. I was selling on the way up. There's no way I could have known it was going to go this high. So I think that was good, except for maybe my size. But again, I was following my risk, so I think that was good. Now, Qualcomm! Oh my god, I did everything wrong. I didn't... Okay, so I first had a thesis. I had a short thesis of this is going to spike into the resistance of 84.44, which is the highs of this flag at the time. 80, or was that there? Oh no, sorry, that level was further down at 82.5. This level was from the weekly all-time highs at 84.44. So what I thought is that we would come up to it, we would sell off, and I would make a quick, $1 per share or something. But I changed my plan. I saw it break out, and I thought it was going to hold, so I covered my short only to go long. And then I was caught in this entire drop. And then I went short here as it came back up to this very, very key level. Let me just mark that out so it makes more sense. Just from this pivot point, I went short. So that was a good short. And then I scalped it. But then I went short again just to cover and then go long. And then sell some here and go long again to get stopped out. And then go long again. Just... Oh my god, this was not good. That was the only profitable trade, was up in here. And it was only on 100 shares. So I'm still down quite a bit. So 2 good trades, 1 absolutely atrocious trade. Because, okay, let's go over the entries. So my entry here, my first entry was mediocre. My exit sucked because I should have been holding on for my plan. And therefore my trade idea, I guess, was okay because that first initial short was a great idea. And then maybe I could have longed it after the fact. Yeah, and then my exits, of course, were junk. I need to slow down with these stocks. Really take in the information. Because commissions on Qualcomm are almost $60. Like, and I was using a max of 300, 400 shares, 200 shares. So that's far too many because each one individually was under a buck, 55 cents, 36 cents, $1, $2, $3. So way too much on commissions. Overtraded the crap out of this. And I'm going to go over it a little bit more later and see where I could have really improved. But like, I think it was fairly clear that this was bullish longer term, but my short thesis was a good idea. Like my short was a good plan. I just did not execute it properly at all, and I kept bias switching, and I wasn't waiting for the extremes. I was over trading it in here. So I should have just been holding on for my plan and being able to hold on because of the risk that I took. But I didn't follow that. So I'm only up like just over $100 today. It was like up a lot and then down and then break even and then up and then down and then finally up. So I just called it after this trade on ATOS. That was my last one, I believe, of the day. And then that's it. You know, I've broken too many rules. I'm over trading. So we'll come back at it. We'll kill it tomorrow. We're almost at 5. Why do I say 5? That's not right at all. 1,000 subs. We're almost there. Please, guys, smash subscribe. We're going to have this crazy party when I hit 1,000. No, I don't know what I'm going to do. If you guys want me to like live stream, maybe I'll do that. And I'll trade on live stream. But yeah, please, if we get to that, I'll be super grateful. Other than that, leave your comments below. You guys have a great, Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow.